Hey, what is up, guys? I have like exciting news. I just literally just got home from school, and this past week I've been really looking into some cool stuff. And when I say cool stuff, I mean like in terms of travel. So I haven't been planning to spend any money for a while because I want to save for a car and I want to save for just traveling. Those are my two main things. And third one would be college. Obviously college should be on top, but I just love traveling and I really need a car eventually. So the only other option is that if I go to a college on the other side of the country, I won't need a car, basically, because if I buy a car here, why would I waste my money driving all the way over there? And especially if you're going to college out there on maybe the East Coast or somewhere, I don't know. It wouldn't be worth it to buy a car. So anyways, I've been looking into this place called EF College Break. Now this place is, they do like trips for people ages 18 to 28, and that you can select places like Europe, Asia, South America, Central America, Australia, those kinds of places. And then I love traveling, right? So this place, you can kind of organize it from lowest price. So this one, the one I'm looking at the most right now is called London and Paris Escape. So basically you go to Paris and London, and this one you go for 8 days, okay? And so this is the kind of stuff you guys will recognize this from Marleybone probably. But yeah, you go to all these like cool places and stuff. And you get to travel, like, obviously to the Eiffel Tower and Big Ben and stuff. So yeah, it's just so freaking awesome to look at. And then over here you can select like which dates you'd be cool going. I'm kind of looking at going in 2017 of May, like right when I get out of school, so like May 20th or something like that. And then it'll tell you down here the price. So the total price of the whole thing is $2,800. Now that's obviously crazy money, right? That's so much. But you can do this thing called monthly payments. Now, as a waiter, I don't even know how much I make. It's possible I could make $100 a night if I'm doing really good as a waiter. So, if you put down $150 today, it'll tell you that each month you have to pay that much money. Okay, 381 bucks. So, it's not that bad when you put it in that perspective, right? Obviously not, but so here's the thing, here's the hard part. I would also want to go to London and Scotland Escape. So this one, instead of going to Paris, now I'll be going to Scotland as well as London. And there's just so many of these things that I can't decide. And I also, if you guys don't know this, I speak German because I took it for 3 years in high school. I would say I'm half fluent. Even after 3 years, you're never going to be as good as you want. Here you go to like the Czech Republic and 2 cities in Germany, the 2 biggest cities probably in Germany, Berlin, Munich, and then Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. So there's so much stuff there. Venice, Florence, and Rome. You guys know I love Assassin's Creed, so this is like Ezio's homeland right here, and I would love to go there. Grand Tour of Spain, Budapest, Vienna, and Prague. Active Europe, France, and Switzerland. London, Paris, Barcelona. Now this one looks pretty sick, but I heard a lot of people get robbed in Barcelona, Spain, so I'm kind of nervous about that one. And then probably one of my all-time favorite ones is going to be right here, Germany, Italy, and Switzerland. But these ones all go up. They go up a lot in price. This one, London, Paris, Rome. This is the one I would prefer to go on. If I could just pick one right now, I would definitely pick this one. But yeah, it's just a tough one. And there's like one at the very end. It's like one of the most expensive ones there is. It's called, where is it at? Ultimate Europe. You go to, look how many days it is. I don't know if I can focus on that because it's so close. 35 days. 35 days trip, and you go to like almost every major city in Europe. So it's freaking ridiculous if you guys basically haven't understood that yet. Focus on my head in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So yeah, I really want to do this, you guys. You have no idea. Now 390 bucks a month is crazy. It's a lot of money, but I do work really hard for my money, you know, and I usually work 3 or 4 nights a week as a waiter. So imagine if each night I make 100 bucks. 100 for the first night, 200 second, 300 third, and 400 fourth. That's $400. That will pay for an entire month, and that's only 1 week of my paycheck. So, you know, obviously it varies. It obviously varies a lot. But that's just what you gotta hope for. That's what you have to hope for. And if that's the case, I could easily do this, right? But the thing is, I don't have anyone to go with. And it says on here that 60% of the travelers actually go solo. So, I mean, it's fine. But, and by the way, it's not, you don't go, like, by yourself. Like, you go with a huge group of people your age, and they put you into this group of like 20, 30 people, and you guys all travel together, but a lot of those people who go are traveling by themselves, if that makes any sense. So yeah, those are the ones I really want to do. I'm about to call the place right now because they've been emailing me saying, hey, we want to talk to you and ask you questions and see what you want to do. And so I was like, all right, maybe I'll call them. So let's go ahead and see what we got. I'm gonna go ahead and call and see what I can do.
Leave a message and then push pound to enter. enter a name, push star. To transfer out of expressions, push 0.
They called me first. And I called the number she told me to call.
Please dial the extension where you would like to leave a message and then push pound. You dialed 2150. This number has not been recognized. Please dial the extension where you would like to leave a message and then push pound. To enter a name, push star. To transfer out of expressions, push 0.
Literally, guys, I was supposed to be going to the gym right now, but I decided to do this, so hopefully I can get a call from them. I've been in like a little live chat with one of the people for like a minute now, and then she's like, okay, I can call you because the other lady apparently is not working right now. She just got off work. What is that? Oh shoot, and here she is now. Let's see how it goes, bro. Okay, whew. Moment of truth. Hello?
Hey Landon, it's Laura from College Break. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just figured this would be a little easier if you had a couple minutes now. But when are you planning to take your trip?
I think right when I get out of college this year, so like at the end of May.
Awesome. Such a cool time to go.
Yeah.
That's actually my favorite time to travel.
Oh, good.
So I'm glad you're doing it then. But really, I would say there are a couple differences. So really, you just have to decide whether you want to go to Paris or whether you want to go to Edinburgh. So two main differences. Paris is a major city. So London and Paris are two extremely large cities, which is awesome in the sense that you get to go explore. You can see a lot, do a lot, but they definitely have that big city feel. And Edinburgh is going to be more, and Paris, you get more. I'd say it is a bigger city, but also kind of a little fancier. I mean, you can go out, you can do something smaller. I mean, you have the Eiffel Tower sparkling at night. Like, it's definitely a different vibe. But Edinburgh is smaller, so you're going to feel more like you're in, like, a smaller town vibe than a major city. So, and it's just, like, more old school. So it's going to be, like, pubs, and if you like whiskey, and castles, and really that smaller, quaint feel is kind of what Edinburgh has, and then Paris is just kind of one of those major cities to check off your bucket list.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's a tough decision
which one
then.
do you think? Yeah, I mean, they're both great, but what do you think what is it about the two that really interest you, or which one do you think would be better for you?
So I think I want to do like 2 trips, like one for the year after also, and I can't decide if I think like right now I would want to do the London and Scotland one, and then maybe like the year after do one where I go to Paris as well as a few other ones.
Yeah, and I think if you have time, I mean, London and Scotland, they're both great. I mean, 8 days goes by pretty quickly too, so if you have a longer amount of time to travel, whether that's this summer or next, I think that's great. Do you have time after you graduate?
Yeah.
To do more than just
I think so.
a couple cities?
It should be.
What you could do for, I mean, if Scotland was really the place you want to go to, I even might recommend doing like an England, Scotland, and Ireland trip if that's the kind of vibe that you were really interested in. It is longer, it's 15 days, and it is a little more expensive, but that would allow you to see, London, Scotland, and you would be able to see Ireland while you're there if you have time. Or you could just kind of get your feet wet and see how you feel about us and do a London, Scotland trip and then do a much longer trip next year.
Yeah, that might.
But you can't really go wrong. I mean, the best advice sometimes choosing your trip can be the hardest part because there are so many, so I totally feel that. But what's great is most people sign up now just so you get the best price and you can pay off your trip, and it's just a lot easier and really helps you out. But you can also change your trip. So you can switch your trip up until about 3 months before you leave. 99 days is kind of the deadline we have, but that gives you a ton of time if you want to go next May. That's like next, in March, you have to let us know what trip you want to do, and we'll just move you over to that one and put whatever you paid towards that, and you'll get the prices if you booked now. So you're not set in stone, but I think you want to go somewhere in May, and it sounds like you're leaning towards London and Scotland. And then as you're doing a little more research, if you think you have more time, you could always move to a longer trip, so you could see a few more cities while you're there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Have you ever traveled in Europe before?
No, the farthest I've gone is Hawaii because I live in California, so that's as far as I've gone.
Cool. Well, that's pretty far. I mean, Hawaii is part of the U.S., but it still sometimes feels like
yeah.
it's so far. But that's awesome. How did you find out about us? Do you have a friend who went with us before? Or?
No, I was actually just researching because I love to travel and stuff, so I just wanted to. I found you guys online, so then I've been looking into it for the past few weeks here.
Cool. Awesome. Well, it seems like now's the time to make it happen. But other than just choosing exactly what destinations you want, what else was holding you back from signing up?
I think that was it. I don't have anybody to actually go with me too, so that one kind of sucks because none of my friends want to spend that much money.
Better, I think. Yeah, I mean, I traveled solo with us, and I've traveled solo a couple other ways with a group like this, and why I work here because it was so incredible, and I honestly think you have the rest of your life to go with a couple friends, and that's how you might travel down the road. But if you have an opportunity to go with a group like this and meet new people and get out of your comfort zone, and you learn a lot about yourself, and I think sometimes you just have more fun because you're going on a trip with new people, and sometimes when I've traveled with friends, it's like you kind of never feel like you left home because you know everybody and you don't really get to go out of your comfort zone a little bit. So
yeah, that sounds fun.
I'm totally a proponent for going solo. It's actually what most people do. So definitely don't let that hold you back.
How many people usually go on like one trip?
The maximum we'll take on this trip is about 40, so it can be anywhere. The last trip I went on had about 20 people on it, so it can be anywhere from like 20 to 40 people total. But if you're traveling solo, I think anywhere within that range is great. More people for you to get to know, but 40 is the absolute max.
Okay.
For that, but are you excited?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, do you think that London and Scotland might be the one that you're leaning towards the most?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like talk it over a little bit more and then just kind of see what I'm gonna do between those two. But I think I'm leaning towards that one mostly because I feel like I can get to Paris in another trip like the next year.
Yeah, it's a little easier to get there. And I also think it's nice to, after London, I think London and Scotland are going to complement each other really well. London and Paris are super different. But London and Scotland, I think you'll find they have a similar vibe. So I think always go with your gut. That's usually what I recommend. And then if you change your mind later, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But were you planning to get signed up this week, or what was your time frame?
Yeah, I think like within the next week or so.
Awesome. So I definitely would try and sign up by the end of this week, only because after that is really when the rush is going to hit, because our prices are going up pretty soon. So a lot of people wait till September actually to book their trip. So if you know you want to go, I had trouble calling us today, but we're going to be even busier starting next week. So I would definitely try and book your trip by Friday.
Yeah. And do you know the difference like between the Ultimate Europe one and the Grand Tour of Europe?
Just the places that you're visiting. So I can send you a link to kind of the comparison of the three, but Grand Tour of Europe is kind of how I see it as the city slicker trip. I mean, you're going to all major cities in Europe. And Ultimate Europe, it's the longest time you could spend abroad, but also you see the Greek islands, you see some smaller places, and you definitely get some big cities too, but you also get a little bit more coastline in there.
Okay.
So it just depends, is London a huge draw for you, or would the Greek islands and something else be? So if you're doing London and Scotland this time, I might recommend the Ultimate Europe trip to you, so that you could do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like do that one the second time.
Yeah, or a lot of people will even do them back to back. If you had a lot of time this summer and wanted to go all out and think you could swing it financially, a lot of people will do like our Ultimate Europe trip and then do London and Scotland after.
Yeah, I would love that if I could get the time off of work.
I know. Sometimes time becomes more of a commodity than money. I think getting a month off is rare. So if you have an opportunity to get a month off, Ultimate Europe is awesome. I mean, it's like life-changing because you get so close with everyone that you're with. Is that also something you're debating for this summer?
The next summer, yeah.
The next summer?
Yeah.
Great. Well, those dates aren't even out yet, and you also get a huge discount for traveling with us once already. So.
Oh yeah, what's the discount for the second time?
So it's $250 off plus any sale that goes on throughout the entire year. So
nice.
You can get $250 off and then the best price that we offer.
Oh, that's
For
good.
that trip. So it definitely helps so maybe kind of get your feet wet with London and Scotland and then go all out for next year. And then also as soon as the dates come out, you can sign up and have the most time to pay it off. So that definitely helps too.
What would you say were your 3 favorite trips?
I think it really depends on what kind of experience you're looking for, but my favorite trips have honestly been with the group that I'm with. I think that just meeting people and, every destination is awesome, but it's also having that kind of feeling of when you go there, so when you really bond with your group and, get along with everyone that you're with, it makes it even more fun. I've been to London with us. I've been to London, Paris, Rome, and Italy, and Thailand, and I just did Spain and Portugal. I just did our London to Lisbon trip. So they're all different. I love London. I thought that was really cool. I haven't been to Edinburgh, but I think I would love that too. So our London, Paris, and Rome trip was my first trip I ever did, but one of my favorites just because I think that was one of my first times in Europe, and I think when you go, we do Europe really, really well. So when you go for your first time in Europe through us, I think that's really cool. So that was probably my favorite, only because it was my first, but they're all great. But they just offer something super different.
Yeah, I think I would actually want to do that London, Paris, and Rome one too.
Yeah. Well, if you do, the Ultimate Europe trip next year, London's a city too that you could go back 12 times and still see a lot. So
yeah.
I would sign up. What I would recommend, just kind of from working here and knowing how things work, to sign up for the London and Scotland trip by Friday. Put the deposit down, just lock in our prices and start paying it off, and then you can do a little research and at least know that you got the best deal, you're all set, but then